My name is Julian Reid. I've been a paranormal investigator for over 40 years. In that time, I've seen some things that are frightening and many that were terrifying. Extreme poltergeist, possessions, strange happenings, but worst of all, demons. Come and join the journey with my ghost stories. Well, hello, and welcome to Haunted Hunter Ghost Stories. A little bit of a special edition here where we are looking at ghostly photos, and as you'll see as it comes up shortly, we've caught a few over the years. I've also got a new one that we're going to be adding in today, and this is an extended version of the earlier version because a lot of people have asked me if I could do something that is a little bit longer and a little bit more descriptive than the last ones. So here we go. That was me. This is me again, doing a show in Northern Ireland. The people sitting behind doing a seance with me, and then they're going to do a table tilt. And I'm in the front there talking to the audience about the various aspects and things to do with the paranormal, supernatural. Here's one of the photographs that we took at that event, and it's from a series of photographs taken in the same area where there was nothing untoward until we took this actual photo. In the photo you'll see there are two orbs, one on the left, one on the right. Let's go in to the one on the left, and above the one on the left you'll just see like a little bit of a circle on the wall as well of a bigger sort of orb, but we're not going to be concentrating on that. I want us to concentrate on this one because we feel that the other one is the pathway that this orb has taken. As we get closer and closer to the orb, you can see that it's got sort of rings around the diameter, and that's because it is moving so fast, and it's the actual image is one, but it looks like there are several there just because of the speed that it's moving. If you look at the banister at the side of it, you will see that that's pretty much in focus, nice sharp edges. The orb itself though has got very much a sort of clouded look around it, if you like, and again that is just because it's moving so fast. The fascinating thing is that that's quite a big orb compared to the ones that you normally get, because that's about 4, maybe 5 inches across, and that is big for orbs. We have had bigger in the past, mind you, but we've had a job and a half to capture them on photographs. Now we're going to travel down a little bit to the back door, the exit. Just quickly show you that, because you'll see there's a reflection in the light of the door. We thought at first that might be from that orb, but we're not too sure. We thought it might be from one of our light sources, which is a possibility because we had light sources pointing up into that area just to help us to capture these things. Now, there's obviously, it's an old theatre, there's going to be dust, and there's going to be particles of dust, and we've taken into account all of that, and you can see little spots of dust in and around the area, but they haven't lit up, and they're not sort of moving on a trajectory. Here's another one, little orb that we noticed on the back of a, we believe it to be a speaker stand, and here we go. If you look closely at the centre of that, it looks like it's got something in the middle, but it's not. It's just, that is a piece of tape on the back of the speaker, and again that has sort of a different type of ring around it. It almost looks like there's a face in the middle of it, but that's just your eyes deceiving you, really. It's not a face as such. It is just very, very much looking that way purely because of what's on the actual speaker behind. So that's another orb, slightly smaller than the other one, and if you look at it, it looks like it's got a number 3 etc. in it, and we had a good look at that and we couldn't work out what that was. Okay, off to another venue, and this one was taken by somebody in the audience, and it was taken on a phone, no flash. We wouldn't allow flashes at the actual shows. We've got lights pointing in that direction, as you can see from where we were working, and that in effect is just to light up everybody so we can get around to as many people as possible. However, look at the door in the background. I'm just going to take you in slowly to that, and we're taking you in slowly so you can see the photo itself is a little out of it looks like it's out of focus, but what it is, it's a very, very small file. If you look at the door itself, not the shadow in the middle, just the door, you can see to the right hand side of that door a face. Now that was only in one photograph. It wasn't in the others, and we didn't pick it up, but in that one photograph. But what we were more concerned about was the actual shadow that's in front of the door. That's the shadow. There was nothing there to give that shadow, and there was plenty of light in the room, and there was just nobody standing in that area, nobody standing behind a light that could have thrown or cast that shadow. And there's that face a little bit closer. As you can see, as you look at that face, it's not a reflection of anything in the background. It is something rather peculiar. It's not in the door either. It's nothing that's sort of into the door, because that is actually through glass. So you're looking at the glass panel, which has got I think 3 or 4 panels, and that's what we saw. Well, that's what she saw, and then pointed out to us. So as we looked at it, it's a little bit of a strange anomaly. You can see another door at the side of me, and you can see there's nothing in the glass of that door. And I'm the ugly one, by the way, standing by the second lot of doors, if you're wondering where those doors are. Right, now this is a spectacular photo. There are so many different anomalies in this one that it's well worth spending a little bit of time on. Apart from that attractive man, well, me on the one side, there's a group of people sitting around in a circle, and in the middle of that circle there's a group of people standing around a very tall stand, and they've got their fingers on the edge of the stand, calling out to spirit to come close. So the first thing we'll look at that is unusual in this photograph, straight ahead, the gentleman standing at the back, the tallest gentleman that you see there, and if you look very, very closely to his right hand side, there's a baby almost attached to his face. You can just see it, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, and the clothes. There was nothing there at all that could have made a shadow or made that image. It's not in any of the other photographs, just in that one. The second strange anomaly is there's a face right in the middle. If you look very carefully, right next again to the baby's face, you can almost see a face in the background. It's not the easiest thing to see, but you've just got to look around a little bit, and it almost looks like a little bit like an alien or a bit of a devilish face. There it is enhanced, just so you can see the actual waves in the background that mix up the waves in the background of the photograph. So as you can see, the face doesn't form any part of that. There's also that square block. If you look at the square block, the grey square block that's in the background, that wasn't on any other photograph. We couldn't find that anywhere else, and it certainly wasn't there on the night, because that is a projection screen that we have in the background there, and that projection screen is showing videos and things that we would later on be showing that evening, and obviously we project on it. So there's nothing there that can cause that shadow, not that block in the back. And let's go and have a quick look at my ugly mug. There I am, wearing a nice waistcoat. Now, something you can do at home. Get a nice clean mirror, darkened room, or blackout room if you can, and snap away into the mirror. So I'm going to show you first of all which isn't a real face, and that's not a real face there. All you're seeing there is the background, if you like, being shown through a reflection from the flash of the mirror. However, this one to the side of it is sort of half and half. We weren't too sure. whether that is a face or not, or below it. If you look just below it, there's another one which could very well be a face as well. So we weren't too sure about those two. And if we slowly go up to the other side of the photograph, this one we feel is probably more, there it is, you can see it when we superimpose that one. You can see that face there, sort of to the middle of the frame. And if we can just make out two eyes and a nose and a mouth, we think that one is more like a real anomaly compared to the ones on the other side. Not 100% sure about the ones on the other side. This is the photograph sort of enhanced, if you like, so you can see it a little bit better as well. And you can see the face on that side isn't a real one behind my head. Lower down, not too sure about that. Let's just go into my flash for a second, and as you can see, it's an intense white light that we use when you use a flash into the mirror, so it will flash back at you as you do it as well, and then you just got to look to see what you can see in or around yourself. Again, enhanced a little bit more. You can see the face on that side, just below that frame, and if we slowly then work our way out of the photograph, you can see that there's not much else in there that we could really talk about as being real. Now here's one. This is an old photograph. I saw this in the 1970s. I've actually held the original photograph, and this was an Inglenook fireplace that somebody had, or didn't even know they had at the time, but when they took boards off in a room to redecorate, they found the fireplace behind. So they did it out, did it nicely, and back in those days, no digital photographs or anything like that. They take this photograph, off it goes to be processed, and when it comes back, you get this gentleman sitting there with his dog on his lap. Now the unusual thing about that is, it's the dog seems to be held by the gentleman, and the gentleman seems to be wearing very old clothes. You can see his ear, you can see his hair, and you can see a bit of a beard going on with the gentleman as well. You know, you'd have to get an actor in to actually play that part. If you wanted somebody to actually look oldie world, because that's definitely an oldie world look in that fireplace, and that was taken back in the 1970s, the mid-1970s. Lucky enough to see the original, lucky enough to have held it in my hands, and yeah, there's not much more I can say about that one, other than I was impressed. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe and hit the bell for future and further notifications, and we'll catch you on the next one. Don't have nightmares. Oh, and wait until the end, because we'll have one more photo to show you. Well, as promised, here's some bonus for you, and this is Mercy. She joined us a few months ago. She's a haunted doll, and she comes on with us to our investigations, and as you can see, she's got a built-in EMF meter, and she does a few other little tricks as well. So she's joined us, and when she joined us, I'd taken this photograph the day she arrived downstairs of our dogs. And as you can see, there's something really peculiar in this photograph, something I've never ever seen before. There's a row of orbs, 6 of them, starting with a small one right in the background, coming to a larger one where the messy table is. Now, if you look at that line, it's almost like a perfect trajectory. And the weirdest thing is, I took this with my iPhone 12. And never ever had anything on my iPhone 12, and I didn't even notice this at the time until we looked at the photograph recently. So this is so peculiar. We need to do a bit more research on it, but there it is. The biggest orb, just showing you that there on the end. And if you ever get anything in a photograph that's unusual, keep it. Don't get rid of it, because you never know when you're going to need it. Bye for now.